Yes, people, what's happening? A nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. Tonight's special guest, we've got the gaffer, the chief, the boss, the president of the BKFC, the main man, Mr. David Feldman. What's happening, mate? You good?
What's going on, Lou? How are you?
I'm all good, mate. Thanks. How's yourself?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Good, good. I was wondering if we could start it tonight, mate, by going back to BKFC 41 and how it felt for yourself being the main man in it all, having these superstars in the combat sports world fight for you on your event.
It was great, man. I mean, it was, everything went as planned. Except everything went better than planned, really. It was the biggest night in my professional life. Everything really just clicked on all cylinders, and it was an amazing feeling having all these legends of combat sports speak so highly about the promotion and the future of the promotion, and having Conor McGregor out there and saying that, it's one of the best promotions in the world, stuff that money can't buy. You can't buy that kind of publicity. And we got that night, and we've got so much more publicity after the fact. It was amazing. Which leads us into, what do we do next, right? How do you top that? How do you do better?
Yeah.
Going to do better, but we put together one hell of a card that we're signing all the contracts in the next week to 10 days, and announced that one will happen in October. And that'll be a phenomenal show for us as well. But we have to keep following with the momentum. There's a lot of promotions out there that, can throw on a big show here and a big show there, but they don't follow up with anything. They don't have consistency, and they don't keep the momentum going. And that's one thing that we had to focus on, because I said in a few interviews before, I don't want to be known as a one-hit wonder or, a company that just, couldn't get there. I know that we can get there. I know we have the fuel to get there. I know we have the substance to get there. So, we're just going to keep putting on great shows that we're doing every other week here. And then, 3 or 4 huge shows a year, and really take this thing to another level.
Yeah, definitely. Because when Conor McGregor turned up at BKFC 41, it wasn't like you were inviting him over and that he just turned up. Was that right?
Yeah, I mean, look, to bring a Conor McGregor type out to the show, and then to get him to say the things he said, you can't pay for that. Like, if you it's going to cost you $5 million, like, we're not paying that. He had 2 adversaries that he fought before there. He knew this sport was fun. We had a good relationship with it, with his security team. So they got on a plane on their own dime, flew out, came into the fight, loved it. But not only loved it at the fight, the amazing thing is how much and how long he talked about it after the fight. For a week, for 2 weeks.
Yeah, all the interviews and things.
Even last week, did another interview and said how great bare-knuckle is. So, it's amazing. Money can't buy that. And, it was great to have him there. Great for him to talk great about it. And, you never know, right? I'm not saying he's fighting for us, but I'm telling you now, you just never know. Before, I would have said no way in the world, but now I'm going to say you never know.
You never see him turn up at shows like that, do you? And getting involved the way he did.
Say that one more time, Lou.
You never see him turn up to shows as much as of a superstar he is and do the things he did that night.
No, he loved it. It was, look, I tell people this all the time. I say, all we got to do, like, if we have a good sponsor on the hook and we're not sure if we're going to close them or not, or we have a TV, someone that wants to do a TV thing, I tell my team, I said, just get them to a live event and it's over. You got to get them to the live event. They got to hear this. Like, they got,
yeah.
They're like, wow. And he was there and he was like, whoa, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. Because no matter where you sat over in the UK, when I've been to the events, you can hear them thuds right the way through the stadium, no matter how much the crowd's roaring. You hear every shot, don't you?
Yeah, you hear every shot. That's the beauty of it. I think that's what separates it from a live respect. It's also, it's fast paced, our ring. Everything's a little different than what we do than other promotions, but that sound is phenomenal. That's what got me hooked. That's what got me to grow this thing. And that's what the fans love to hear, along with everything else that we do. But look, we got a great team over there with Mark and Andy putting really great stuff together in the UK. We were planning on maybe coming back on a big show in August, September, but it looks like it's going to be in 2024 because we're going to do a really big show here in the States in October, and then come back over to the UK. We're launching a lot of things in Europe. We had a great, conversation with Spain today. We're doing a lot of really good things with a lot of different things all over the world, man. We're happy.
Yeah, you got Mexico as well, haven't you, coming up? Are you going to get the fight sanctioned over in Mexico?
Yeah, that's going to start November. We already did a fight there back in 2019 in Cancun, but we're going to go back there. We're actually going to do a monthly series. We're going to do one show a month in Mexico starting in November with the major TV network over there. We're just waiting to sign that contract, but it's the number one TV network over there in Mexico, and they're going to air monthly fights for us. So it's going to be great to get, look, some of the most exciting fights ever were by two Mexican warriors fighting each other. So we're going to do what they call seguantes. Seguantes means clean fist in Spanish. So seguantes, bare knuckle in Mexico is going to be great.
And talking about just before BKFC 41, we had BKFC 40 in Leeds. And obviously, I'm take it you've watched the Danny Christie and Anthony Holmes fight and seen him win the title. What did you think of that fight?
Phenomenal. I mean, look, in to be a champion, you got to see them face adversity, come back from adversity, and overcome adversity. And Danny Christie did just that, and take nothing away from his opponent. I mean, he fought a phenomenal fight, but Danny Christie showed he wanted it just a little bit more that night. It was an awesome fight, an awesome night, and ended in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, because I know you're a Danny Christie fan. I remember from the Wembley show when you were a fan of his fight with Terry Brazier. So do you think there's any possibility with him winning the title eliminator of him fighting Lorenzo Hunt in the future?
Yeah, it's a unique problem here. It sucks for us right now, but Danny Christie has some things that he's working on so he can get out of the UK, and Lorenzo Hunt actually has some things he's working on so he can get out of the USA. So right now, go to the other guy's country to fight. So we have to, we have to make up for that and do different fights right now.
Yeah, no worries, mate. And we have BKFC 46 coming up with your man from over there, Caleb Harris, coming over here to fight British fighter Rico Franco. What do you think of that fight?
That's going to be a great fight. I mean, look, Caleb Harris knows that he has a lot to prove. That people want to see, is he legitimately a contender in BKFC? And he's going to fight one of the best bare knuckle fighters in the world, Rico Franco, and it's going to be a barn burner, man. One thing that I know about Caleb Harris is he doesn't quit. Like, he'll keep coming forward. He'll take great shots. He'll land great shots. He has a lot of heart, a lot of guts, a lot of fortitude. He learned how to fight bare knuckle really well. He knows how to unload his punches now. Rico Franco has been in the bare knuckle scene in UK for a long time. He's done much of the same that I just mentioned for Caleb Harris. So, I'm expecting fireworks from that fight. I think it should be an amazing, amazing fight.
Yeah, it'll be a great fight. That we've got like a stack card as well on the night. We've got like Lewis Keane, Gary Fox, Aaron Blakey, Ben Bonner, Rob Barry. The full event's just stacked with like top level fighters.
Absolutely.
Are you going to be coming over to this show?
I'm not coming over for this one, but I'll be over for the next one. We're working on that right now in September, October should be the next one. I'll definitely be over for that one. But we have so much going on here. We're building. We have Bulgaria is going to be September 2nd. We're doing the tryouts there this weekend. We just have a lot of moving parts right now, and we're working on a big TV deal. So, we're really close to just really completely smashing this thing wide open. It's really, really close to being everything that we dreamt of it being, and it's right there on the verge, and we just got to keep pushing, so it goes over the edge.
Yeah, definitely do, mate. And we also have another fighter from over here coming over to fight your main number one pound for pound, Lewis Palomino. What do you think of the fight he's having with James Lilly?
Phenomenal fight. I think Lilly has a very, very good shot in that fight. He's one of the best pure boxers, like pure slick boxers that I've ever seen in bare knuckle. And the thing is going to be is no one has learned bare knuckle more than Lewis Palomino in the whole entire world, really. So we're going to see if he can fight off Lewis Palomino's pressure. And I'm so excited about that match. Like that's probably one of the fights I'm most looking forward to in the rest of 2023. I'm really looking forward to that fight because the other thing about it is I love Louis Palomino. He's my guy, man. We've done a lot of things together. And James Lilly, you couldn't meet a nicer guy in the world. Just a
Yeah.
nice guy, class guy, and it's a great guy. So whoever wins, I'm rooting for them because they're both great guys. They're both good human beings, and either one of those guys that takes that win home, I'll be a big fan of them.
Yeah, it's a fight I'm really looking forward to. Like, and what's next for the Brumtown bomber Konatini? Do you have any plans for him for the future coming up?
Yeah, we're working on a couple things in the office next week for him. We'll have something for him probably by the end of next week. He wasn't sure if he was going to do a boxing match on the outside, and we allowed him to do that, but that never came to fruition. So now we're going to find a fight for him.
Cushy. And our heavyweight Mick Terrell. Have you got any plans for Mick coming out soon?
We have a lot of plans for Mick, but Mick's suffered a little bit of an injury. I don't want to disclose where it was or what it is, but a little bit of an injury, and it's still nagging him a little bit. So as soon as Mick's ready, he's coming back immediately. I have 2 or 3 great matchups for him, and he probably won't fight for the title right away, only because he's been out so long with an injury. So I'll probably have one tune-up fight first, and then fight for the championship. But another one, the great guy, classy, always very, very polite, and can fight his ass off. His arse off. Arse.
He can, mate. He's class. And
Yeah.
do you think ever in the future we'll have a because I was speaking to Jeff Houston the other night, and he said that there's going to be more switchovers, like America coming to England, England going to America, and mixing it up with each other in the fights. Is that going to happen more?
We'll see. I mean, look, if it makes sense, if we build a guy big enough from the UK to bring him over, we'll bring him over. Like James Lilly did, Konatini did, and Mick Terrell did. These guys, they have to prove that they can come over and compete with the Americans. I don't mean that derogatory, but I think that the guys in regular BKFC, like the top tier guys in BKFC, are just on a different level. So when these guys get the experience in the UK and they come over, then it's going to be great fights and great matchups like we have in 2.5 weeks with James Lilly and Louis Palomino. I don't know, a year ago I wouldn't have thought James Lilly had a shot to compete with Louis Palomino, but he earned his shot. I mean, he looked sensational in his last 2 fights, so he earned a shot, and I think it's going to be a very, very competitive matchup. So yeah, I mean, everything's possible. Look, we're building a global sport here, a global company. We're not just doing BKFC America, BKFC UK, although we're titling it a little differently. But once these guys get enough experience, everyone's going to be fighting all over the world. That's just what it's going to be. It's not going to be broken down as much. But right now, to get these guys more experience, to get more fights, to get more people behind it from their home country, we're doing it that way right now. But eventually, it's going to be the global promotion of BKFC, and everybody's fighting everybody.
Yeah, class. And is there any more news or anything that you can share with us on signings or anything like that?
I mean, we just got, we got something big coming up for Eddie Alvarez. We got a huge legend in the UFC that's going to be coming over. We're talking to former heavyweight champion of the world, a boxer right now. A lot of great things, man. The problem is if I tell you who it is before they're signed, someone else tries to talk to them and pulls them from me. So I can't drop them. But let me tell you, man, in the next 2 months, a lot of exciting news is going to be announced for BKFC. Just a lot more exciting news, and it's great. It's a great time to be who I am, and it's a great time to be a fan of the sport because the sport's just now taking off. And it's, when I started this thing in 2018, there was, one legally sanctioned and regulated bare knuckle fighting event in the world. There was another 1 or 2 in the UK that, I guess were regulated but weren't really legal, or were legal and not regulated. I don't even know how to say it. But now there's 68 bare knuckle promotions in the world 5 years later. 68 bare knuckle promotions, and it's just growing. The sport has really caught on. So, I take my hat off to even the organization over there that's doing some good things. They consistently put on shows. Some people have bad things to say about them, some don't. But at the end of the day, they consistently put on shows. They're consistently giving fighters opportunities to grow this sport. And anyone that's growing the sport of bare knuckle, I take my hat off to those guys.
Yeah, of course, mate. And before we wrap it up, mate, is there any shout outs or sponsors you want to give out? Because I know you'll be getting booked up this weekend with the Kai Stewart and Louis Lopez fight.
Yeah, man, that's great. Thanks for the lead in. Bucked Up Bucked Up Energy and Bucked Up Supplements has been a phenomenal sponsor for us. Go to buckedup.com. They have all kinds of different energy drinks, supplements, pre-workout, you name it, they have it. Everything that's really good for you to work out and make yourself better. MIT 45 is a kratom company that just came on as a really big sponsor for us as well. Lions Not Sheep, obviously, our apparel company. They have some great. Look, at the end of the day, I always say it. These guys are lions. They're not sheep. These guys come in there. They fight their asses off. They're lions. They're leading the pack. They're not following the pack. So our fighters are lions, not sheep. We have Crescent Tools is a great sponsor for us as well. We've had DraftKings Sportsbook. Place your bets on DraftKings, and that's some of the bigger sponsors that we have. We really thank them. Really, Lou, man, thank you for all your coverage. You're always cool, man. You're always doing good stuff for us. I appreciate it. And in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Definitely are, mate. And I really appreciate you coming on, mate, because I know you're a very busy man, and hopefully we'll stay in touch and do something in the near future.
Awesome. Thanks, my man. Take care.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye. Yes, people, nice one for tuning in. Another good podcast wrapped up with the president of the BKFC, Mr. David Feldman. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments, people.